First, on immigration. What made you change your mind about targeting in California farmers and people in the hotel and leisure business?
Well, we're not targeting. In fact, if you look today, I put out a statement today about farmers. Our farmers are being hurt badly by, they have very good workers. They've worked for them for 20 years.
Fernando Aldeman, a Mexican national, has worked Smith's farm since 1992. Everybody's just scared.
Yeah.
Now, are you here legally? No.
No.
So, are you scared?
Yeah, I'm scared.
Listen to me. They're sick. They love giving you just a little bit of hope just so they could snatch it back away. When he says maybe we need to stop because they've been here for 10 and 20 years, they're expecting that when they say that, all the people that have been panicking lately because of the deportations, they're expecting that now they'll say, okay, things are going to calm down. They're only going to go after the bad guys. Us who have been working here for so long and paying into the system, they're now going to leave us alone and they're only going to go after the criminals.
Right.
So Donald gave a speech and then it came down to the question and answer period, and it went basically how you thought it would go. He was asked about immigration, especially in relation to farmers that are going to and have been struggling because they're not going to hire the people that everyone thought that they were going to hire. They're not going to give you an increase in wages. Some of these businesses, the profit margin is so small that they cannot afford to give you the type of wage that you feel you deserve. There's no farmer around with a 1% profit margin that's about to pay you what you feel is a living wage with dental, with full health coverage.
For everybody, that's, nationwide. If you want to get rid of them, quit eating. That'll solve the problem.
But when only 5 pickers showed up this morning to harvest his sweet potatoes, farmer Keith Smith saw possible ruin, the loss of his $500,000 crop.
They're running scared because of this new law.
And you're in trouble.
I'm in trouble, bad trouble.
Smith's 200 acres need 20 pickers, mostly Mexican nationals.
There is not enough documented people here to supply that workforce.
Most of your workers are here illegally.
That's sure. If they got documentation, they got a better job than working for me.
Fernando Aldeman, a Mexican national, has worked Smith's farm since 1992. Everybody's just scared.
Yeah.
Now, are you here legally? No.
No.
So, are you scared?
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared,
Smith's pickers make about $100 a day. He supports immigration laws, just not this one that threatens his third generation.
The expectation was, well, now they're going to hire citizens. And if they hire citizens, they're going to increase our wages and they should just eat the loss on their profits. Why? Because for some reason, everyone seems to think that these companies and businesses have your best interest in mind as opposed to maximizing profits. It will never be like that. So you remember how much of a big stink Donald has been making about making sure that we hire American, making sure that we hire our own. As he says, America first. He must mean America the land because he can't mean America the people. Because in his mind, he tried to take you back to a time where everyone drove a Chevy, they all had a white picket fence with a dog and 2.17 kids.
What?
With a wife that was in the kitchen with the apron and the hairdo. Those days don't exist anymore. But that's the picture he painted. Only to find out that during the speech, they asked him a question about farmers and immigration. And guess what he said?
Peter?
Thank you, President Trump. I have two. First, on immigration. What made you change your mind about targeting in California farmers and people in the hotel and leisure business?
Well, we're not targeting. In fact, if you look today, I put out a statement today about farmers. Our farmers are being hurt badly by, they have very good workers. They've worked for them for 20 years. They're not citizens, but they've turned out to be, great. And we're going to have to do something about that. We can't take farmers and take all their people and send them back because they don't have maybe what they're supposed to have, maybe not. And you know what's going to happen and what is happening? They get rid of some of the people because, you go into a farm and you look and people they've been there for 20, 25 years and they've worked great and the owner of the farm loves them and everything else. And then you're supposed to throw them out. And you know what happens? They end up hiring the people, the criminals that have come in, the murderers from prisons and everything else. So we're going to have an order on that pretty soon, I think. We can't do that to our farmers and leisure too, hotels.
Hold on, because there's an obvious question here. It's a very, very obvious question. Why are the farmers not hiring Americans? I would love to hear that answer. Why are the farmers not hiring Americans? America first, right? Country first, right? Duty first, right? And so instead of trying to let the farmers just get away with this, you recognize that they're still working with, as he says, illegals. So if they're working with illegals, how is the farmer not seen as doing wrong by his own people? Rather than the farmer hiring a foreign worker, why not just hire someone domestic so that they could do the exact same job? Are they not competent? Can they not just do the same job? Or is it more complicated than that?
That pretty soon, I think. We can't do that to our farmers, and leisure too, hotels. We're going to have to use a lot of common sense on that.
This is what you call poetry in motion. You couldn't make this type of stuff up. Here's what he wrote. Our great farmers and people in the hotel and leisure business have been stating that our very aggressive policy on immigration is taking very good, long-time workers away from them, with those jobs being almost impossible to replace. In many cases, the criminals allowed into our country by the very stupid Biden open borders policy, Biden still living rent-free in this man's head, by the very stupid Biden open borders policy, are applying for those jobs. This is not good. We must protect our farmers, but get the criminals out of the USA. Changes are coming. 22.5 thousand likes. Almost 5,500 retruths, because you know that you will always have those followers in the MAGA movement that when Trump says the first letter of the alphabet is A, they say, "That's right, Mr. President." And then when Trump says the first letter of the alphabet is no longer A, they say, "That's right, Mr. President." And then he said, "You know what? No, the first letter of the alphabet, it's never been A." They say, "That's right, Mr. President." Everything he says and does is always right.
Now he's a philosophizer.
And of course, as expected, it seems MAGA is not really taking this so well. This is a terrible message and should be deleted immediately. This is the fastest way to destroy the MAGA coalition. Very disappointed to hear this message coming from our president. Even N wokeness stepped in. We did not vote to let illegal aliens stay on behalf of employers desperate for cheap foreign labor. Deport them all. Exactly.
Oh, shit.
Those who employ invaders should face jail time and large fines. It's so good, but unfortunately it won't last. Why? Because something else will come up. The same way MAGA moves on past the Epstein files is the same way they'll move on past this. It'll just be a phase, something that they get mad at for one day and then they'll move on to the next story. Why? Because even though they're talking about exploiting foreign labor for profits, they don't see that farming going on in front of their face. So as long as it's not directly in front of their face all the time, they'll just move on with life. Trust me, there'll be another scandal on there tomorrow. When was the last time you heard anyone talk about the H-1B visas? When was the last time you heard them talking about the Epstein files? When was the last time you heard anyone outraged over the fact that the president of the United States is making money off of a meme coin that many of his own followers invested in and lost all their money? Here's some more. Another guy says, ramp up the deportations and punish those who employ illegals. This is an extremely disappointing post. There is no reason to prioritize violent criminals over the illegals who are just here to work. They all must go. Now, to be fair, I would ask the exact same question. If foreign labor is the issue, why are you not punishing the employers that hire foreign labor? This decision is really at the behest of the company. They get to pick and choose who it is that they want to hire. And if it's supposed to benefit Americans and those companies don't want to hire Americans because they don't want to pay American wages, then who's really the problem? Is it the American citizens? Or is it the corporation? I venture to say it's the latter. I saw who was standing behind Trump during his inauguration, so none of this is a surprise to me whatsoever. All of these deportations, all of those are just for show. So now American citizens not only just have to compete with foreign labor, in the future, upcoming future, mind you, they also have to compete with robotics. I know you see the hustle right in front of you. That's all I got for now. Whatever your thoughts are, leave them in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, and I will see you again on the next one. Be easy, y'all.